something down here.
Nobody's doing nothing.
We've got unbridled insanity off the top. My mom, watching in Coronado, California, just changed the channel. Jeff Saturday is trying out for a role in Saturday Night Fever. If it's Thursday, it means the Bussin' Boys are here.
A man who knows what to do can be played like a Compton. The man who knows why will live lavish like a Lawan.
Hey, nerd boy, I got you again over there, nerd boy. We own you.
Does Hembo look more like Mike McDaniel or Jackie O?
This is absolutely absurd.
I am delighted to Are you kidding me?
Okay.
This is Russell Wilson.
Sierra, was that you? Was that you?
Let me channel my Jeff Saturday. Oh, boy.
Believe it. Believe it.
Believe it. Easy money sniper.
LeBron James and I have so much in common. Jeff, we're not reading right now.
Jeff.
Is Dak Prescott the best quarterback in the NFL right now? Definitely or definitely not?
Jeff, a maybe. Cousin Dak is back, boy. Sometimes you drive me crazy.
Guys, I'm getting too old for this crap.
So much fun. Look, on the good days and the bad days, and we've had both of those in sports this week. Our job is to try and start your day with a smile on your face. We try every week. Delighted to have you with us. We got a full squad rolling today on a Football Friday. Obviously, the NBA had a tumultuous day yesterday in a lot of ways, but they had great games on the floor last night. Let me show you what Steph Curry did last night, the Warriors and the Nuggets. So it's a battle of the MVPs. Pick it up, 5 minutes left in the third. Hey, Harry Douglas, I want you to explain to me how Steph Curry gets this shot to go in.
Well, I think it's a song that says, Chef Curry with the pot, boy. That's simple, Green.
Yes, I know. I love that song. Score tied at 94 after 3. We got 4 minutes to go in regulation. Nuggets are up by 5. Jokic has a mismatch. He also had a triple-double, 21, 13, and 10. Denver a 7-point lead, but Steph not going away. This is ridiculous. Knocking down the 3, he would score 42, a clutch shot, tied at 117. The other way, Aaron Gordon, a huge story on this night. He had a career-high 50 points, but then the Warriors get it back. And this is the one that I meant was ridiculous. I lost my place. Look at Steph Curry. Come on.
Unbelievable. He can make those shots in his sleep, too.
That was to tie the game at 120. 6 seconds left in regulation. Nuggets have a chance. Jokic.
That's the game if he makes it.
Good defense by Draymond. We are headed to overtime. Final minute of the OT. Warriors have a 3-point lead. They swing it. They find Jimmy G buckets. The G stands for gets. Jimmy Butler at 21. Big shot there. Warriors lead by 6. Next Denver possession. No good. We're going the other way. Clock running out. Jokic not paying attention. Steph lays it up and good. Did I mention he had 42? Warriors win it in overtime, 137 to 131. Steph had a big night. Didn't start that way. He had 7 points at halftime. Second half, he turned it on. 35 points and 5 threes. 22 of those points came in the final 6.5 minutes of regulation and the overtime. So a huge night for him. How about the football last night in Los Angeles? Justin Herbert and the Chargers hosting the Vikings on Thursday Night Football. And Herbert, Peter, when protected, and he had Joe Alt back, is spectacular.
He had all the time he needed. He was hitting Arondé Gatson Jr. for the touchdown here. An incredible performance by Herbert. You're going to see the highlights right now.
Early score, and then J-Mac, how about it? Look at him go. Herbert can take off and go with it as good as just about anybody.
Such a big dude, but he can run. And look at Vidal, the running back, getting his opportunity, picking up a huge block. Herbert ran all night long.
7 carries, 62 yards for Herbert. Then you mentioned Vidal. J-Mac, he finishes this drive with the score.
Injuries at the running back position. No Amarian Hampton, no worries. Just give me the rock. I'll go score with it.
14-3 Vikings down, and Carson Wentz, Bart, this did not look right all night long. Here's a tough moment here.
Well, you can see the Winter Soldier arm over there on the side, and listen, he's battered. He's playing really tough. Hit his hand earlier in the game. You know, it's just been a tough game, a tough season for Wentz.
Vikings were forced to punt, and Harry, here's where they really put the game away. Late in the first half, Ladd McConkey.
There's no reason to fear. Ladd McConkey is here. Go route, great job stacking the DB. Touchdown, Chargers.
Boy, they make that look easy, don't they? 21-3 Chargers at the half. Fourth quarter, it's 24-10. Minnesota sort of hanging around, and then they sort of weren't anymore. It's Herbert finding time, finding Trey Harris. Herbert's third passing touchdown of the night, 31-10 in favor of L.A. Herbert spectacular. Again, you mentioned the return of Joe Alt, their big left tackle. Makes all the difference. Vikings get it back. This is just awful. Here's Wentz. Justin Jefferson's down there somewhere.
Yeah, not there.
So is R.J. Mickens.
Tips and overthrows.
Got to get those. Charger defense, 5 sacks, 8 quarterback hits, and that interception. Chargers win at 37-10. Locker room lit.
Well done, well done. Give each other a high five. I got one question for you. Who could possibly have it better than us? Nobody!
It's just frustrating, just going out there and performing the way we've been performing and not putting up points and not, getting stops. That's all a team effort, and we're just not doing enough.
All right, let's dive in because this was a very important game for both teams involved and the divisions in which they play. So, J-Mac, the first thing you said to me was 2 questions were answered last night. What was the first one?
Both about the quarterback position. Justin Herbert, top 5 quarterback in the NFL when he has protection. Got his guy Joe Alt back. We saw the difference last night. On the other side of the ball, J.J. McCarthy is the guy for the Minnesota Vikings.
He better be.
He better be at this point. They have no choice. They have no one else. There were, I think, whispers as Carson Wentz got his opportunity to start. Could he overtake? Could he be the guy? One shoulder, whatever you want to blame the offensive line, J.J. McCarthy is going to be the guy when he's healthy.
How about the J.J. McCarthy of it all, Peter?
Well, this is the extreme. He's missed 6 weeks with an ankle injury. We thought originally it might be 2, 3, 4 weeks. We go all the way to 6 weeks. They're struggling here. But if you looked at that offensive line last night, it was atrocious. And to put J.J. McCarthy with an ankle injury out there might have been an even worse decision than whatever they had out there last night. I will say this. They made a decision this offseason to let Sam Darnold walk. After a 14-3 season, they let him walk. They also let Daniel Jones walk, which was understandable. It was the backup quarterback. He was asking for a lot of money. They also brought in Sam Howell. They traded him away. They get Carson Wentz in August. The whole expectation was J.J. McCarthy's going to ride us the whole way. The amount of pressure on this young man right now to come in and suddenly be a Drake May or a Bo Nix.
Save the season, right?
You have to say, the pressure. I don't know if there's any quarterback with more pressure on his shoulders and for the pressure to deliver for that front office and that coaching staff for the decisions they made. I think JJ's not only walking into this with a bad offensive line, he's walking in with the weight of the world on him. I don't envy J.J. McCarthy coming back.
Let me quickly just show A13. And Bart, you tell me if this is fair or not. I mean, J.J. McCarthy didn't make this decision, but this is what's going on. Daniel Jones right now is playing like the MVP of the league. Sam Darnold right now is playing on a team that looks like they could go to the Super Bowl. And the Viking, again, I mean, J.J. McCarthy's only played 8 quarters this year, 7 of them not well. You see the numbers over there. Is this fair to put this up?
This is very fair because we knew what the number was for Sam Darnold. They could have got Sam Darnold for less than $30 million. So their decision-making has been inconsistent because they pushed all their chips in when you think about bringing in Allen, when you think about bringing in Hargrove, when you think about bringing in 2 offensive linemen, and then you go with the inconsistency or unknown in a quarterback, right? They're in a window. They're wasting Justin Jefferson, Addison. We always talk about the best receiver corps. Well, Minnesota's right there when you add in Hockenson as well.
So I believe it's unfair because we only have a 2-game sample size of J.J. McCarthy.
And why is that? Because he hasn't been able to stay healthy.
Yeah, and why is that, Bart? Because the offensive line has been hurt. They haven't been healthy. Think about how did J.J. McCarthy get hurt?
How he get hurt the first year?
But listen, this is the second year, though. We're talking about right now. He got hurt because that Falcons defensive line ran over that offensive line of the Minnesota Vikings. And we're looking at Carson Wentz 2 weeks in a row getting treated like basically a punching bag versus the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line, and then last night versus the Chargers defensive line. So the offensive line has not been healthy. This was supposed to be one of the better units in the league coming into the season. So I don't think it's fair for J.J. McCarthy for us to say that, man, the Minnesota Vikings made the wrong decision.
Life's not fair in the NFL, definitely ain't fair. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. You have a championship caliber roster, and the only glimpse or the hole you have is at the quarterback position.
Well, we don't know if it's a hole yet because we
don't
have
a large sample. This is all obviously revisionist history, but there was a bridge. They could have franchise tagged Darnold.
Right.
And that would have been in the 40s, and it wouldn't have been we're taking a $100 million contract. Again, it's very easy to do this. Over the summer, everyone was picking the Vikings to win the Super Bowl. So everyone else was on this board, too.
14-2. You were 14-2 last year.
Remember, they lost the last 2 games, too.
That was a very bad 8 days for Sam Darnold. Yes.
Your problem was the expectation. You used the word expectation. If your expectation was to take a guy with no experience whatsoever, put him out there against the Packers, who got Micah Parsons, the Lions, who are a freight train, and the Bears, who are improving with Ben Johnson, that expectation is flawed. No quarterback at that stage is going to compete with that division.
We've never seen that happen before. We've never seen a veteran team with a rookie quarterback win a Super Bowl. And essentially, that's what he is. So if you thought that enough to push all your chips into the middle of the table, then you should have had some form of insurance.
I didn't think the Minnesota Vikings were going to win the Super Bowl.
They were
period.
14 and
A lot of
2
people
last
were
year.
thinking that.
14 and 2.
They have to think that way, right? Well, I didn't think so either, neither did you. And I know who else didn't think so. It is remarkable the degree to which this stuff happens. I made a big deal this preseason about the fact that their over-under win total before this season started was only 8.5.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that didn't make any sense to me.
It was because of the quarterback.
Won 14 games, and it's because of the quarterback. One other thing you mentioned in the meeting this morning I think is worth getting in. The spot for Minnesota last night was particularly tough.
We talk about, Friday morning we wake up, we talk about Thursday football. The one thing to always keep in mind, Thursday night football games are the most brutal outliers of any football games. This one specifically, the NFL tried to get rid of these games years ago with the scheduling shift. And what do I mean by that? Minnesota's in the middle of the country. You're playing on a Sunday against Philadelphia, and then 4 days later, you're crossing 2 time zones to go to the West Coast to play a Chargers team that's nice and rested. That used to be the all-time smash spot for Vegas bettors. We used to get 3 or 4 of these a year. Your Jets with Rex Ryan, I think it was 2012, were laying 7. They went across the country to play Tebow and the Broncos, and they lost outright. That was when they used to send teams across the country. Philly in December had to go with Michael Vick all the way to Seattle on a Thursday night. So the NFL started doing more divisional games here, but every now and again, one of these creeps through. It's a brutal scheduling spot.
Somehow they're only my Jets when they lose. I can't. No one ever says your Jets in 1969 ended up winning the Super Bowl. Okay, it's a Friday morning, so we look back and we also look ahead. Let's do a Friday forecast, what we're looking forward to this weekend. Peter, give me a prediction.
I think Jonathan Taylor is going to go nuts again. They play a Titans team that is now in the second game with a new head coach, an interim one. Jonathan Taylor very quietly is on pace for one of the greatest seasons we've ever seen from a running back. Go for 200 yards, and guess what? I know it's been since 2012 we talked MVP for a running back. You go for another 200 and you're breaking these records, you're in the conversation.
Saquon should have won it last year, and Taylor should be in the discussion. I'm with you. Bart, give me a Friday forecast.
Oh, I got a forecast for you. How about Jets win? Listen, Joe Flacco giveth and Joe Flacco taketh away. I think you talked about the Jets defense the last couple of weeks holding opponents to 13 points. And I know this is going to be a lot more difficult, but Quincy Williams coming back should add some more juice for them. He's their defensive leader. And Tyrod Taylor at the quarterback. Well, I guess we don't know if it's Tyrod Taylor, but assuming Tyrod Taylor is the quarterback, it gives
if the owner has anything to say about it, it won't be Justin Fields. That's for damn sure. Where are we? J-Mac, give me a Friday forecast.
You know who we haven't seen in a while? Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. I think Josh Allen has one of those type of performances. Rushes for at least 2 touchdowns, probably responsible for 3 or 4 of them. I think he goes off in this game against the Carolina Panthers.
If I'm Josh Allen, I'm tired of hearing everyone say New England is going to win that division. Let's see. All right, Harry, we saved the best for last. Give me a forecast.
Aaron Rodgers, you sneaky man, you. This is not just any other game. You're going against your former team. He's going to throw 3 touchdown passes, Greeny. And to be very specific, it's going to be DK Metcalf, Pat Frommer, and also John Smith. 3 tutties against his former team.
Boy, would he love that.
Anytime, TDs.
And we'll talk more about them as we go. This obviously, Sunday night, these guys who make the schedule for the NFL, they know what they're doing. Rodgers, you were around in the last couple of years with the Jets. He's going to want to bury the Packers.
I told you guys that he wasn't done. Now, they need to get him some help, but he's doing a masterful job with what he has. The way that he moves his tight ends around, he gets matchups for them, it's been amazing. He was 3 or 4 in the red zone last week. He was 7 for 10 on third down. He's getting in the groove. Now, they just need his defense to step the hell up and remember who they are.
And they need another wide receiver. Schrager, I'm putting you in charge of that. I need you to go make it. Somehow, you figure out a way the Steelers make a trade for a wide receiver. I don't know, maybe this one. Eagles get set for what we hope will be another interesting matchup this weekend. We'll look forward to that one Sunday on NFL Countdown. Meanwhile, McCourt is in session. J-Mac, Jason McCourty is here, going to make 3 cases for us this week, starting with the Cowboys.
I'm looking at Dak and his duo. They are heading to Denver going against 2 really good cornerbacks in Pat Surtain and Riley Moss. And I think Dak and those guys go absolutely bonkers, throwing the ball all around the field, making plays. And Dak is going to show us in a big game against a good opponent why he is that daggone good and how he's been playing this season. It's going to be fun. Cornerbacks and DBs, I usually go for the defense. But Harry, somehow these wide receivers are going to get it done. All right, from now on, we're moving right along. It's a big week of football right now. Jordan Love going against Aaron Rodgers. The protege shows the master. Who is the guy now? Jordan Love getting the ball out of his hands quickly, dissecting his Pittsburgh Steelers defense. We're going to see it all night long. He's going to be getting the ball less than 3 seconds, coming out of his hands, making plays. Jordan Love is going to announce himself on the scene, and we're only going to be saying positive things about him the morning after that. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, it was a beautiful marriage last year. We saw it reach unbelievable heights. Super Bowl trophy. Is it time? Is it time to go their separate ways? You sometimes hit a point in a relationship and say, you know what, it's not you, it's me. We had a good run, and we can shake hands and go our separate ways. A lot of things being said in Philadelphia. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does.
Listen, Peter Schrager, something, and we used this phrase earlier, something doesn't pass the smell test. He has, at least statistically, a monster game last weekend. Harry, you were saying that a lot of that came on broken plays. I'm sure that's right, but for whatever it is, he had 4 catches, 120-something yards, 2 touchdowns, the game-winning play. One would assume he would walk off the field an extremely happy man. And he walked off the field completely healthy as far as everyone is concerned. Then suddenly Wednesday he's got a hamstring. Thursday he's got a hamstring. Not practicing. What's going on? Something doesn't smell right.
Something doesn't smell right. And I think even the Eagles brass would look at this show and say, this is not just us creating noise. This is real. And also the Instagram post doesn't help either that he did after a game talking about that. That said, I'm told it's a hamstring. It's a real injury, and it's trying to nurse it, and the expectation is he still might very well play against the Giants. They have the bye week after this, and then we'll go from there, but the trade deadline is looming. I, myself, have dealt with Howie Roseman for 20 years. I don't have a long history of Howie Roseman with a team that's contending, trading off assets. Usually, Howie Roseman is acquiring assets. So before we get that storyline going too far down the road, I would say it would go against the grain from their general manager, who's known as one of the biggest wheelers and dealers. That said, to what J-Mac is saying, is it time to part ways? Sometimes a couple's having issues, they decide to get pregnant. Let's just roll this up back and let's try to get, that could be the worst thing. That might be the solution as well.
Are you
let's try to go this.
Are you projecting?
Let's just try it. You've never heard that? Well,
absolutely.
That's what this might be.
Absolutely.
Let's try to add something else to it. It might just be, hey, we've got to get through this thing and we've got to work it out, and we're not going to pull the cord.
I guess the question is
A.J. Brown pregnant? I don't know.
Was it Junior?
Should they trade him away, or should Jalen and A.J. have a baby?
That's what I'm asking.
That's what we're asking. Okay, let's move on from that.
It means doubling down. Do you just stick with
No,
this?
we're not asking that.
We all know what it means. It's just a funny way to put it.
Straight.
Let's talk about the triple high safety some more. Sorry.
Triple high.
Whatever you guys want to talk
they're
about.
playing a one-robber defense. No, okay.
The sluggo.
Let's make a serious point. He did catch a sluggo.
I know.
I was Monday years old when I learned what that route was called. Anyway, let's get serious for a second here. Saquon Barkley, they can't run the ball. The Philadelphia Eagles cannot run the ball. Last year, they won the Super Bowl in large part, not only in large part, almost exclusively, because they ran the ball as well as any team in the history of the NFL. This year, they can't run it at all, which is why their 5-2 record still just doesn't feel like everything is right. Which of these two things do you think is likelier? That they figure out how to run it, or that they're able with this passing attack, let's assume A.J. Brown doesn't leave, that they're able with this passing attack to repeat as champions by throwing their way there?
Well, it's more than one way to learn how to run the ball. Sometimes you can run the ball because you have the 2 high safeties. We saw that last week with Cincinnati, with Brown being able to run for over 130 yards, because you have to respect what's on the outside. But to do that, you actually got to throw them the ball. You know, what teams have been doing, they had a whole year to see how Philadelphia wants to use the run game and use Saquon Barkley, and they're loading the box up. And they're saying, you're not going to beat us this way. We're going to try to make you one-dimensional, and we'd rather put it in the hands of Jalen Hurts than put it in the legs of Saquon Barkley. So I think they're going to have to go back to the table and figure out how to run the ball, but they're going to have to learn how to run the ball by actually taking chances down the field.
That's what I think is interesting here, sort of a chicken and egg thing, right? It's not that they can't run the ball because teams aren't letting them run the ball and they're daring them to pass the ball. If they start passing the ball more effectively, does that then unlock Saquon in the running game?
I believe so. Now, from a technical standpoint, guys have to do a better job with their one-on-one blocks in the run game, but I fought this for the last 7 weeks, Greeny, saying that, hey, they have to play through the run game, but I think it's going to be the opposite this season. They have to play through the pass game and let things open up the run game.
See if anybody likes the Giants to pull off another enormous. I don't like it.
Not this week.
Let's go, Scatty-Boo.
I don't think the Eagles loved Scatterboo shirtless doing flips and Jackson Dart high-flying officials. I think there's some extra energy here in this game, too.
I agree with that, but I'm telling you, this thing with A.J. Brown, something is not right.
The big thing is the Eagles can't rush the passer. So what does Howie Roseman do to address that? That's why they're bringing Graham back because they lack leadership.
That's what it is.
All right, let me get Fortenbaugh, and we'll have more on these as we go. But I got Joe Fortenbaugh over here, as always, on Friday. He's got his best bets, and let's take a look at what he's got his eye on, our betting expert. And let's start with a matchup in the NFC South.
Oh, these are not for the faint of heart. Number one, Saints plus 4.5 over the Buccaneers. How good is Tampa Bay? You can look at the 5-2 record and say, yeah, pretty good. Or you can look at the fact that through 7 games, they're -1 in point differential. How are you getting outscored through 7 games if you're supposed to be a 5-2 team? Now, on a short week, banged up, on the road, laying 4.5 against the divisional opponent, who, by the way, Spencer Rattler's quarterback rating, better than Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Trevor Lawrence. Saints aren't that terrible. We'll take the points.
Next one, Bart just picked the Jets to win.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm with them. We'll take the 6.5. I don't know if I go so far as to pick them win, but the thing is, you don't bet the dog because you think they can keep it close. You bet the dog because you think they can win. So we have to have some belief here. Very simply put, Week 3, Jets are in Tampa Bay facing the Bucs. They're catching 6.5. Now they're in Cincinnati, and they're catching 6.5. This is the 3rd worst defense in the NFL. I like the Flacco story, but it's too many points. Give me the Jets.
All right, give me one from college.
South Carolina plus 11.5 over Alabama. Now, full disclosure, I've been betting against Alabama quite a bit and getting my teeth kicked in, but we persevere. That's what leadership looks like. We'll take the 11.5 here. Sleepy spot for Alabama. 4 straight wins over ranked opponents. Now you're going to go on the road to a sub-500 team and lay 11.5. Kalen DeBoer, when laying double digits on the road, 1-4 straight up. Not against the spread, which he is as well. 1-4. He's lost 4 of 5 games that he's coached where he's been a double-digit favorite on the road. Problem spot here.
Best bets from Joe Fortenbaugh. We'll have more college as we go. Coming up, we also get to the Ravens.